Of what we can expect from today's show, today's season?
Absolutely. So, what we're going to be dealing with today is the Lords of Chaos are trying to take over your world. You three have been quested to gather together the seven parts of the Rod of Law, also known as the Rod of Seven Parts. And for the next few weeks, we're going to be traveling across different planes and encountering different types of monsters and creatures and people. And hopefully, our characters will survive.
We'll see about that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not so confident in Brian's ability to survive after what I've
I wouldn't
heard.
hold my breath on that one.
So Brian,
Will's characters have been known to
yeah, yeah.
have a short shelf life.
So Brian, creator of Open Legend, the game which we are playing today, tell us, who are you going to be playing in this session today?
My character is Brimaz, and he is. Since this is like an action-oriented campaign, I'll just go ahead and explain his background rather than make it a surprise or secret, because I think it's going to be like a Michael Bay movie, I think, up in this joint. So he's half storm giant, half succubus. So his mother was a succubus, his father was a storm giant, and he has the temper of his mother, is easily angered, and the power of his father over the storms. In Open Legend rules terms, he's got the raging ability that a barbarian would have, but he actually uses it for lightning and energy magic. So that's kind of the high-level overview, and then related to Sydney.
All right. Yes. So Brimaz and Brimley are related. Sydney, how are you? How are you two connected?
We're half brother and sister, and we were like abandoned as children because no one wants us or whatever, you know. And
As you do when you're a succubus.
Yeah, understandable.
yeah, like, and basically like he grew up with like such a horrible temper, and I'm like this mind mage type of gal. And she has like a lot of like enchantment powers, and like she's able to charm people to get them to do what she wants, and she's kind of like been there for her brother to calm him down and stuff, but also manipulated him into like
Got it.
Almost like she's a succubus or something, you know?
Almost as if. Finally, myself, I am playing a man named Roth, who is technically an assassin. Although he likes to think that he's liberating people of their sad lives. So Roth is an American. He's bringing democracy to everyone wherever he goes. If he could have an animal companion, it would be a bald eagle. But yeah, he's an assassin, and he's a bit of a shady fellow. So that's who I'll be playing.
I'm looking
today.
forward
That's
to
actually
American
what I
accent.
thought Endless Night. Does that mean Brimaz has a tail or some other irregular features? Because like he's got his succubus. You got like a succubus tail or like some breasts or what? Some spare breasts.
I think maybe I have a tail. I hadn't really thought about having a tail. He's like a pygmy storm giant, so he's only like 7 foot 2 inches or something like that, you know. But maybe he also has a tail. That's good.
Nice. Man plus Roth equals rough man. Confirmed. Confirmed.
I'm looking forward to your
perfect.
American accent, Will.
An assassin, a mind mage, and a barbarian type, half succubus, today in Chaos Calling. So before we jump into today's session, before I let DMLeviathan immediately place rocks upon Brimaz and kill him, I remind you guys, we are at 25 retweets. You guys will get to decide what happens in our game. We're already on 18 retweets out of 25 already, so that just means that we're maths away from having a viewer decision, and you guys getting to decide what happens to us lowly adventurers in our very first episode here on Chaos Calling. Also, if you are new to the show, you're new to Encounter Roleplay, hit that follow button and join us. Very important. It means you can catch all of our shows. We're here 5 nights a week, 10 shows every single week, and 150 hours every single month. Also, if you haven't entered into our giveaway for a D&D 5th edition starter set, why the hell haven't you? Go ahead and do it now. And other than that, you can affect our game, giving players nat 1s, nat 20s, wild magic surges, and the equivalents in Open Legends, so don't worry. What's up, Super Watching? How's it going, man? And of course, we are funding a new microphone for Will because this one has been annoying me for the past few weeks. But other than that, I'll hand over to DMLeviathan to begin today's festivities.
All right, thank you. So, to give you an idea of where we are when we're getting started this story, as I said before, you three have all been adventuring together for a little bit of time, and you got offered this job actually by messenger from, surprisingly, the Emperor of Alair himself. According to him, the auguries and the oracles have pointed out that you three, well, to be honest with you, Damien, you're more of a little bit of a tag along in these oracles, because it was actually the half brothers and sisters here that were specifically pointed out as the chosen that needed to come forth to help fight the armies of the chaos. On your way to Alair, you were actually on the outskirts of the city, and you heard a young man screaming for help. And when you went to investigate, you found the actual messenger who had originally brought you the summons, and he was being attacked by a chaos creature. And this is pretty much what you see now. You are engaged with this creature. And if you would all please roll initiative.
Oh boy,
Okay.
getting straight into it. I like it. Let's go.
Yeah, this guy's not screwing around.
Yeah.
All right.
So, we are playing Open Legend RPG, which you might not be familiar with compared to D&D, but it's pretty similar. You know, you roll initiative and stuff like that, so that's all the same. Rolling agility on that one. I rolled a 14.
16 for me.
I should be the best.
I
at this.
forgot to go to the roll 20, so give me 1 second. I'm coming.
We got this.
Just pretend that it was low, because it probably will be.
All right, here's
What's
Sydney's
your
roll.
roll? I can roll for you.
What do we get?
D20 plus D8.
1d8.
Yeah.
Alright. Bang bang. 20 for
All
Sid.
right.
What's
So
up, Cthulhu Hoopster? Good name.
it looks like Brimley will be leading out in the battle. So Brimley, what do you got for me?
Alright, hang on. Holy shit, she's not even in the roll 20s. I'm so sorry.
Thanks so much to Monochrome Hero for following. Welcome to the adventure, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for joining us.
Alright, now she's in the roll 20.
So what are you doing? I'll roll for you if you're. Oh, okay, you got it.
Do we want to give visual descriptions of our characters? Because I don't think I've given one for me yet.
Yeah, I
we
don't
know
think.
what you guys look like, I guess, being like half succubus.
Well, while she's getting set, why don't y'all go ahead and explain?
Yeah.
Sure, we're level 1 Cthulhu. Myself, Roth, and this shadowy figure over here, he goes full edgelord in the whole I'm a mysterious assassin kind of thing. And he's a big fan of people not knowing his real name. So for a while he pretended that his name was Wrath until he let on that he's actually called Roth. And he expected that to be a big reveal, but no one was really surprised. He wears these dark kind of robes. He's got some short blades, which he does his work with, some throwing knives on him. And he's as much of an assassin stereotype as possible. If he could be a drow, he would be. So yeah.
That is fantastic. And Brian, what about the big guy over here?
Yeah. So my character is like he at first when you first look at him, people tend to think that he's almost ill or sick, because he quite literally has like it's nearly white, but when you get close enough, you can tell that the pigment of his skin is purplish, right? And so that's from his storm giant heritage. But he looks sort of human, except for he's unnaturally sized, and then his hair is like silver, and it's a little confusing for people because he looks maybe human, but then he has silver hair, despite looking, like early, like 30, 25 years old, something like that. And anyway, he also wields. He's actually fairly heavily armored in scale mail, even though he's a magic user. That's one of the fun things about Open Legend. He's fairly tough while being a magic user, and he wields a staff that is of mythical origin, stolen by his succubus mother from his father before they parted ways, and he wields it as an arcane focus.
All right.
Nice.
And Miss Sid, how about you?
Brimley looks like a devil lady. She looks like a succubus. One more. I mean, she's got like horns and she looks like the devil, but kind of cute. Like if you
She
like
looks like
Matthew, you'd be like, ain't bad.
Ain't bad. That succubus ain't bad. Perfect. So I
Just
think
enough
it's your
to
turn.
make you think, like, hey, it could work out, like as one does with a
She might steal my soul, but it might be worth it. It's okay.
right.
What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna try an illusion to make it look like I've just been like brutally murdered to try and send my brother into rage so he'll kill it for me.
Nice.
I'm a moocher.
That's awesome.
That sounds
And,
about right.
and it's
too.
a possum effect too. It's perfect.
Alright. 22.
Yeah.
You got it.
22.
All right. So I see her go down, and you can see the purple blood vessels around my temples just begin to bulge.
Them bulging things. Oh, you're muted, DMLeviathan.
All right,
Okay.
sorry about that. I don't know how that happened, but okay. Bramaz, not only do you see her go down, but you see her just wildly slapped by the tail of this thing, and her blood just goes flying. She looks as if every bone from her neck down to her hips has just been crushed. And as she was saying, you just go enraged. You start grinding your teeth. You can actually taste the blood in your mouth. And from there, that's going to be Will. You're going to be up next.
All right. In that case, I'm going to. Let me see. I'm gonna go in with my daggers here, like at the worm. I'm gonna slash at this worm, and because I've got allies adjacent, I should be able to get my lethal strike feat if I do well. So I'm gonna go in, and I believe it's my I should use my agility for this one, right, Brian?
Yeah, an agility roll.
Good. I'm gonna slash out this worm at the side of the worm, bit of worm side, for a 16.
Ooh. All right, so you go in and you actually take your dagger down the side of the worm. It's when you pierce his flesh, you notice that even though he looks flabby and almost gelatin-like, the flesh itself is very tough. So you cut into him, but it's not as bad as you would expect it to be.
Ah. Okay. I am under the impression that this guy can't see me because I'm an assassin. So I'm like, as I attack him, I do the thing that kids do when they're fighting, and I'm like, hidden strike as I attack.
Well, it also helps that he has no eyes. So no,
That
he
is
can.
true.
Okay. And next up, he's actually going to be attacking. Since you were the first one to attack him, well, he's going to be focusing his attack on you. And
The worm has callous skin. It's got terrible skin. So
he
it
does
can
not,
moisturize.
he does not moisturize at all.
20.
All right. So Will, he smacks you with a 20. How does that help you?
Against my evasion?
That's going to be. This is a melee attack, so I believe that's going to be against your toughness. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ryan?
In that case, I take 7 damage.
Depends on the nature of his attack, Michael. So it's like if it's like a blunt force tail attack, maybe it's toughness. But if it was like a dagger attack, it would be against evasion.
Well, he's definitely not using daggers, so
Nice. Slap
Yeah.
me with his worm. So yeah, I take 7. I go down to 11 hit points.
all right. And Big Bad Brian, it's now time to unleash your rage.
You see, like, my pupils disappear as lightning begins to flash around around my eyes, and I step up here to. My character is unusual in that even though I'm a mage, I'm like I don't mind getting right into the thick of things. So I'm trying to. So hopefully that'll give me like advantage for flanking with Will.
Absolutely.
I'm going to start raging, which will have its effect. And then I will attack the scumbag.
Poor little worm, he's about to die so hard.
I don't know. I wouldn't be so sure about that, but we'll see. So raging. Oh, and yeah, okay. So I can't make a focus attack because I moved. So that's just 48 keep 2. Boom!
Damn.
Alrighty then. Okay, so Bramaz was obviously very angry. And yeah, you cut a deep, deep gash right into it. You can actually feel yourself cutting through not only the flesh, but into the organs and the rubbery bits inside. You are sprayed with a purplish black blood, and he's obviously terribly wounded. Sydney.
I attacked him with lightning though, and I assume that did 10 damage, so I'm going to trigger persistent damage bane. So the lightning just continues to arc around him, and he'll take damage on his turn.
Okay. All right, and Sydney, that's going to bring you to the fore. Are you still going to stay there, continuing your illusion to make your brother think you're dead?
That's great. Love it.
Let's. Yeah. I'll do that.
All right. All right. So, Damien, or excuse me, Raw,
Yes.
what his attention has now been diverted by the great flashes of lightning that are tearing into his side. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna climb up onto the worm head.
Nice.
I'm gonna go right onto the tip of the worm. And I'm gonna kind of like do the Legolas thing where he goes on top of Leolithon and like runs up it, and then I'm gonna like stab down into its brain, its wormy brain, if it has one.
Okay, let's give that a shot.
Fuck.
So hold on. You should have advantage from me, right?
True, we are flanking, yeah.
Yeah. So that's another d6. And then don't you have like feats that would give you advantage or something?
I have lethal strike, which if I'm within.
Yeah, you're flanking, so that means not only the bonus from flanking, but also the bonus from having lethal strike with flanking.
So I have 2 advantage.
Yeah, so add 2d6, roll 2d6 by themselves.
Okay. Bang bang.
So 3 better.
17. The perfect number for attacking a dong.
All right, so you bring your daggers down, and I'm not sure if you got deep enough to actually cut into his brain, but you definitely cut deep enough to do some damage to him. And not only that, but you've kind of anchored yourself on top of him. So we kind of have a situation going on, much like in Dune, where you're riding the sandworm kind of.
Yeah.
It actually. So the worm actually starts to writhe around since it's not sure exactly who to focus on, and it tries to throw you off. It's not exactly going to be a focused attack on you. It's just kind of bucking as such. So I'm going to...
This bucking worm, man.
It is. It's a bucking worm.
It's a good thing you're an American. You know how to handle a bucking bronco like that. Whoa, 23.
All right, and it is able to buck you off, so it knocks you down. I'm going to say with with all the advantages that you have going on right now, you kind of go into one of those parkour rolls, however, and don't take any damage. That's going to bring us to Brian.
All right, so capitalizing on it, looking the other direction, I'm going to try to, well, actually, on its go, we forgot.
We did. I'm sorry about that.
That's right. I'm trying to help remember as well. Was it persistent? I forget. I need to look this up real quick. The persistent damage for my character would be D8. All right, so D8, he takes exploding D8, 4 damage the worm takes on his turn. And I will go ahead and attack it again. This time I am flanking, and it's a focus attack, so the dice are real crazy. So that's 5d8, keep 2, 40. Oh, man.
Dang! What?
My character is the Raging Berserker. This is great.
Yes, he absolutely is. There is no denying that. So basically, Roth, as you go, you don't even have time to react except for coming up out of your little parkour roll before you are sprayed from behind and almost completely covered with this purplish black blood because your friend has just exploded this creature all over the field.
Worm down.
Absolutely. As you see him kind of standing there and he's huffing, Brimley, your brother has just destroyed this thing. Are you going to reveal to him that you're truly alive now?
Yeah, like I'll just come back up and like pat him on the back.
Good job. Good job.
Good.
I know you think I was dead, but good job.
And he's just like, he looks incredulously like back and forth like, I thought I just saw.
I feel like this is one of those moments where it's like, God, I hate when you do that. You always do that.
I'm standing there like wiping my blades off. I'm like, another day, another kill.
I'm so waiting for him to go, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, I was wondering, do you have the Bane like face thing? You know?
I probably do have like some kind of mask which I use when I'm like undercover. It's like a mask of kind of my face but with a moustache on.
So the young man who basically, when y'all came running up, he scrambled back. Obviously, being a messenger, he can defend himself a little bit, but he's not exactly trained for war. He comes up and he's just looking at Brimaz in awe. He completely ignores Roth. He just walks by Roth as Roth is sitting there going, yeah, more kills. So he completely walks by him, completely walks by Brimley, and goes walking up to Brimaz like he's just seen the sun god himself descend upon the earth, and he goes, oh, that was amazing. You truly are the chosen one.
Well, I don't know about that, son. What, who are you? What brings you here?
Actually, this is the messenger that originally summoned you. You just almost be given back to Aleor Sil. He goes, I'm so glad that it'll be my honor to guide you into the city and before the Emperor, if you'll allow it, of course.
Absolutely. We've come to speak to the Emperor, I believe, right, Brimley?
Yeah, you remembered.
She says as if she's really surprised that you did. Yeah, you remembered. Good.
I give her like this slant eye, the like skinny eyes, and you know, whatever.
I say, I need no guide.
Well, with that, he introduces himself. He says, "My name is Aramis, and it's going to be my honor to take you to the Emperor." And as you're going, he explains what's been going on in the city and around the Empire itself. That random portals have been opening from the realm of chaos, and different beasts have been coming through, causing damage to livestock and villages and even some deaths. they've discovered that deep in legend, there's an artifact called the Rod of Law, or the Rod of Seven Parts. Through their research, they were actually able to find one of these parts, and the Emperor's advisor, named Barabbas, is actually, or excuse me, not Barabbas, named Barabbas, is actually holding on to that piece. What they need you to do is go on a quest for the other pieces. By the time he ends his tale, you're actually coming up on the palace itself. As you're going to enter, you see an older man, probably in about his mid-40s. He has a long drooping mustache and a bit of a chin, a goatee on his chin. And he comes forward, he looks very weary, and he looks at Aramis and goes, Aramis, thank you. You brought them. You are the ones that we sent for, correct?
Oh, that's what this guy said.
Aramis nods and he goes, yes, and I saw them in battle, sir. This one is more brilliant than we thought. He looks up at Bramaz and he goes, well, great warrior, we're honored that you've come to help us. And may I say that you and your companions couldn't have arrived at a more important time. It seems that some type of sickness has taken over the Emperor. We have no time to waste, and I'll take you to...
Do you need him taken out?
No, you don't need him taken out.
What you're trying to do.
Yeah, and I give him a look like, okay.
So he... Dear Lord. So I apologize for what I was doing to you, Brian, because Will is now doing it to me. I'm trying to be serious, and he's sitting here cracking me up.
I'm sure that I've never been there.
So he guides you into this temple, and he explains that this is the Temple of Law. The Lords of Law and the Order of Chaos, they went to war many, many millennia ago. The artifact that we're sending you to look for, the rod, it was at one time called the Rod of Law, and it was used to destroy the Lords of Chaos at that time.
Just like McSauce. Welcome, my friends, to the adventure. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for joining us. The Chaos Lord, McSauce.
He says, but afterwards, it was found to be too powerful to be held by one person, so it was broken into 7 pieces and sent to guardians in 7 different worlds, ours being one of them. We have that one piece, but the 6 other pieces we must send you to go for. And he kind of motions around the room, and you'll notice that he's kind of motioning towards these different doorways. Now they're right up against the wall, and they don't seem to have any sort of room or anything behind them. But he explains that when activated, these are actually magical portals that will take you to other planes.
And create a lovely melody. Welcome to the adventure, Melody. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Thank you for joining us.
And then he steps to this statue directly in the center of the temple. And after shifting a few of its components, you see that each of these doors starts to glow a faint gray, opaque glow in its opening, all except for this one at the very head. He says, please, we have no time to waste. Will you take upon this quest for us?
I have a question. Why would a couple of bastards like us be the chosen ones, I wonder?
You would need to ask the gods themselves, for it was auguries and oracles that told us to seek you out.
What kind of pay are we looking at? I don't work for free. I usually work for at least 4.
This is amazing. Will and I doing the same voice is great.
So at first, Barabbas kind of looks at you shocked, like he almost expected you to do it out of the kindness of your heart. But
I don't have a heart.
then he slowly nods and he goes, if required, since this is in service to the emperor himself, obviously, I'd be safe in offering substantial reward, perhaps even lands and titles.
Lands and titles don't interest me. I have no name. Only gold.
I think you could, you might be able to sell those lands for gold, if I'm not mistaken.
If gold is what you wish, sir, gold is what you will receive.
Forgive him, he doesn't always.
And then I do like the Assassin's Creed like thing where he melds into a crowd and suddenly is invisible.
Is there a crowd? Or are you just
No.
like backing away?
No,
Back away like
it's
that.
pretty much you three and Barabbas. So the crowd is pretty much
is not there.
he's hiding behind the twins. He's just like,
Will, I gotta know, do you have entropy to actually create darkness? You should.
I totally should take a level now. We level up.
All right. So what was I say? If we can rewind to the creature, I wanted to. Is there anything useful on this creature? I wanted to give it a look over real quick. The worm thing.
sure, we can jump back. If you let me.
I just mean like maybe the answer is no, but I just wanted to know like does it have like interesting looking like a horn, like horns like that, or?
Well, those are actually its mandibles, and yes, it does have those. It does have the mandibles. Pretty much, other than that, it's just a large worm. So, I mean, if you have some alchemical interest in its organs or anything like that, I would certainly allow you to collect a bit, maybe some of its blood.
Yeah. I'll save some of his blood, even though I'm not really very alchemical, and I will chop one of its mandibles off with a hatchet and just sort of throw it in my pack as a keepsake.
Okay. So he needs a few trophies. I get that. Let's see.
All right.
Anybody else wanting to butcher the poor dead animal, or is it just the barbarian?
Just me.
Okay.
No.
So flashing back to the temple, he has basically given you leave if you accept. And he, as he said to Roth, if it's gold you're wanting, they'll certainly give you the equivalent of the lands and titles in gold.
There you go.
Sure. I'll accept.
You accept? That is so kind of you. You're such a nice Batman.
I
All right.
know. Or am I?
So, which one of looking at these doorways around the outer edges of the temple, which one do you choose to go through?
Is there any like distinctive differences between them?
Do me a favor. Let's go ahead and make a roll. Let me take a look here. Let's go ahead and check out a perception roll for me, please.
Perception. Seeing Will as a player, not a GM, is like when I switch actors in a sitcom and pretend like nothing happened. We couldn't get the rights to me being a dungeon master this show, so you know the right has changed. What's up, Psychopore? It's a 55.
Whoa!
I see into
Okay.
time and space.
So you perceive everything. There's stuff going on the other side of the world that you're perceiving right now. No, but when you go and you check out, you do notice that in the upper left-hand corner, as you're looking at all these different doorways, they each have a very faint symbol etched there. There's actually 6 of them on these 6 outer doors. There's a star, an arrow, a cup, a harp, a cube, and a triangle.
Okay.
All right. Sounds like something I should have written down, so I did.
Yeah.
Not that I have
That
any
sounds
idea.
like something I should write down, but I don't write.
You want me to write it down?
Yes, please.
He says he doesn't.
I can't write.
Are these symbols over the gateways the that we see?
Yeah, those were actually, that's what when I was saying doorways, those are the ones that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I say, these look like some kind of symbols. What do they mean, messenger man?
Barabbas looks at you and he goes, we've actually done a little bit of study on that, and we believe that these are the portal keys that you'll need to retrieve along with the pieces to be able to return through these portals.
So within each plane there is one of these keys which we need to get.
Exactly. Yes.
Got it. Okay. I say we take the first one last. Huh. They'll never expect it. They'll never see us coming. We'll strike from the shadows.
He's gone from Batman to now he's like the little guy from Watchmen. That
My character's like that guy, like Dr. Manhattan in Watchmen. I'm just not naked.
okay. And
Needs to
trust me,
read when you can justice.
we are all grateful for the fact that your character is not naked. Thank you very much.
That's right. It would be intimidating.
So which portal do we choose to go through?
Yeah, which was the very last one he read out?
Triangle.
Triangle, yeah. Triangle.
The triangle.
Triangle confirmed.
Oh my god.
So
Oh my god.
as you enter the portal, you feel a strange energy kind of wafting over you, and you see just a flash of light. When you exit on the other side, what you're looking at is, you know that you're outside, and you know that you're in a plane of some sort. You can smell moisture in the air, and it's thick with fog. Off in the distance, probably about maybe 30 feet in front of you, you can't make out what it is, but you can see through the fog kind of a metallic reflection.
Interesting. Before we approach it, I'm going to use divination to analyze the magical auras and such in this area. And this, if we just went to a different plane, maybe I'll be able to tell from the magical aura. 17 for divination.
The perfect number.
So that's like
confirmed.
That's right. That's like power level 3 out of 9. So in Open Legend, we have a 0 to 9 scale.
So you can feel a definite natural magic to the area. It's kind of like a low hum that you kind of feel running over the surface of your skin. But as far as in what type of magic or directions that it might be in, you have no idea.
Okay, but it's a natural magic, you say, like earth magic.
Yes.
Okay, all
This is
right.
some kind of magic. I say we step through it.
Oh my gosh. Then what's great?
I'm not sure if Roth actually felt that since it was pretty much his divination, but
Yeah, I don't know how either, but I mean, he's just on his game like that, I guess.
Yeah,
really.
like 55, he knows.
Yeah.
He sees through the DM layer, behind the DM screen.
so as I said, the mist is kind of thick here.
Okay.
You can't see more than clearly, I should say. You can't see more than about 15 feet in front of you. But like I was saying, about 30 feet away, you can see a metallic reflection. You just can't make out what it's coming from.
All right. Well, it's a good thing we don't have anybody in this group that thinks about things in advance. So I will just sort of walk on over in that direction. Yeah. What do I see?
I'm gonna turn to Brimley and say, "You go first.
Me? I thought you were the.
They won't see me coming. I'll be one step behind you,
Well, if they don't-
like a shadow following you."
well, if they
Like
see
a
you
really
coming,
cowardly shadow.
He's a gentleman. He's ladies first.
No, seriously, ladies first.
Okay.
It's kind of a rule I have. Me and the Assassin's Guild.
I just sort of like put out my hand and like I just sort of like shake my head no in silent sort of brother sister communication as I go first.
I'm like, it's part of our creed. And then I follow you through.
As you start moving through the mist, once you get closer, the view of what's reflecting seems to clear up in front of you, and you see two things that are actually reflecting what little light is coming through here. The first is what originally appears to be a metallic statue of a sphinx sitting by a lakeside. The second is the lake itself, which oddly seems to be made of some kind of liquid metal. As I said, the Sphinx originally appears to be almost a statue, but then you see its wings shift and its head kind of tilt to the side as it catches a glimpse of you walking through the mists. To the right of you, I should point out that you also see a bridge that ascends up into the sky, actually, and you see it arching several miles away and then descending out of view.
Wow. I just sort of stare at the bridge for a while, lost in thought, wondering where that goes, thinking, there's a Led Zeppelin song that's playing in my head as
And you see Ross there with like the electric guitar.
Everyone's like, where did you get that? And then it's gone.
So I say, that bridge looks like it goes all the way up to heaven. If only heaven existed.
So, Brimley, I'm going to ask you to save me from these two.
only all that glitters was gold.
Brimley, if you wouldn't mind, would you roll me a perception roll, please? Since they're both concentrating on the bridge, I'm going to have you roll me a perception roll.
Okay. Oh, God.
Can't expect me to focus with a bridge like that in my way.
Nailed it.
Well, never mind. Brimley doesn't notice crap.
Brimley is like caught up in her reflection in this metallic lake thing.
Actually, Brimley, that's fantastic because I was being a little bit sarcastic there. Since you are going to be looking at the lake, you do notice that not too far off. It's not a huge lake, and not too far off. In the center of the lake, you see a small island. And the only thing you see on this island is a glass case in which a crystal triangle, much like a pyramid, sits.
Okay. So am I still next to these two?
Well, I've given the movement of the token to you, so you can move it wherever you want to.
All right. Well,
I can move you over by the lake if you like.
We're gonna say that I am, and
Okay.
I'll elbow Brimaz and be like, "Look."
Hey, dummy, turn around.
What's up? What's up? What's going on?
What's up?
Like that. I think that's the key. That the thing that we need.
The key? What thing?
Oh my God.
He's not really used to
the
that.
portal thing. The seven parts of
the
the
thing
rod.
we came in here for. Remember?
Yeah, the symbol thing. All right.
The simple thing.
So now remember, the symbol thing is simply the portal key. The rod is something completely separate.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I totally knew that. Absolutely. So So it's a triangle then, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And it's on, is that a little island in the middle there?
It is.
Interesting.
I'm
So
gonna go
I
up and
will-
like I want to try and touch this like weird water stuff and see what happens.
You touch the weird water stuff?
Yeah, didn't you say it's like metal or something?
It does. It appears to be like a liquid metal, yes.
I sort of like reach out to try to grab her hand before she touches it.
Okay.
If that succeeds, then I'm going to use my hatchet to touch it instead of someone's hand.
Well, I figure she probably didn't just dive into it too quickly, so I'll let you go ahead and just reach out and
I
grab
just
her.
want to like.
Yeah.
I've done a perimeter sweep of the bushes. It's just bushes. No rods.
No rods.
So, Brian, you reach down with your hatchet and kind of lower it into the water or the lake itself. And when you pull it back up, you can see that there seems to be a little bit of smoke rising from the metal, and it starts to take on a little bit of a pocked edge, much like an acidic effect on your blade.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It hasn't like straight up eaten the blade away, but you can definitely see some markings from some damage there.
So let's see.
What do your giant half succubus eyes see?
Well, as you're all kind of doing this, Brimley, you notice that the Sphinx over here is kind of looking at you much like an amused person watches kittens play. Like, oh, bless their heart, aren't they stupid?
Like a DM.
Yeah. So yeah, he's kind of keeping a close eye on you, and he's definitely keeping a close eye on Brimaz, and he's been watching Roth walk around the bushes out here. But finally, he looks at you, Brimley, and he says, "Is there something that I can help you with?"
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we're on this stop it.
You can't see me.
We're all calm. Everyone is calm. Happy place. Over at Vermez, everyone is calm.
I'm perfectly calm.
There goes Roth again. He ran off.
I'm in a bush.
Oh my god.
He's going to end up getting lost. I'm telling you that now.
So I'm like, excuse them, but we're on this mission to get these rods. You probably heard of them, but I'm pretty sure we need that pyramid on that island, the little glowy one.
He said, well, as far as retrieving the pyramid, I can't help you with that, but I am the guardian, and I can tell you where to find the rod, as long as you can answer a few questions.
Yeah, that sounds super simple. Rod, can you please get out of the bush? We might need you.
I'm here.
Can we look around?
He goes, I have
Okay,
3
I'm
riddles.
coming out.
If you answer my 3 riddles, then you can cross the bridge. And on the other side of the bridge, you'll find the rod.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Like that is so nice. Okay, hit me with
It
this.
is very accommodating of you.
I
What
don't
about
trust
the
it.
triangle, though?
Ripped from its mother's arms, tormented by fire, hammered without mercy, it becomes a bloodthirsty slayer.
Me. It's me.
My sexual appetite.
Ripped, I was abandoned, hammered like all the time. Bloodthirsty slave. It's me.
Okay.
No, I don't. Sister, I'm not so sure about that. I don't know if this guy knew about you, to be honest with
You
you.
probably saw it on my Tinder profile. That's what it says.
That's what it was.
I'm not so sure about this.
Say it again.
Ripped from its mother's arms.
This time real sexy. I'm kidding.
Oh, I am so going to kill Roth. Okay. So, ripped from its mother's arms, tormented by fire, hammered without mercy, it becomes a bloodthirsty slayer.
The moon.
So here's my chance to pull a Regis Philbin. Is that your final answer?
No.
No.
Can we just take a moment to realize that while you were speaking, Will put his ear up to the microphone as if like that would help him hear what you were saying.
I can't hear it. It's okay. Okay, let's brainstorm.
Can we come back to that one?
If you got a second question.
My second riddle.
Do we get any hints?
No, no hints. I'm
Can we
sorry.
phone a friend?
No lifelines?
No. Twins who, when close together, can never touch each other, but who, when at a distance, can unite as one.
Is this the same answer?
No.
How did we get to number 2 when we didn't answer
I know
number
what
1?
it is.
She
not
asked
the
if
moon.
she asked if she could come back to that one.
Oh, okay. Nice. Good thinking.
So you're saying it's not the moon?
No, not the
The
moon.
moon.
Holy shit.
It will never be the moon.
It's usually the moon.
Dude, oh my god, riddles. I have not answered a riddle. I don't know if I've ever successfully answered a riddle in a D&D game, so I hope you guys can pull the team on this one.
I look to the camera.
Yeah. Come on, chat. You guys, you got this.
Twins ripped apart. You guys are like twins. Maybe it's you.
Oh, okay. Hammered, like, yeah.
First one is like ripping apart children. So
Nice.
probably the moon.
It's not the moon.
And thanks so much to Sam Wise Keko. I don't even know. Welcome, my friends, to the adventure. You're a gentleman and a scholar. It's a perfect time whilst we're deliberating here to remind you guys, if you are new to Encounter Roleplay, do hit that follow button and join us. We're here 5 nights a week, 10 shows every single week as well. And after this game here, we're going to be doing the Dungeon Master's lessons, where I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a D&D 5th edition character sheet. I think we should repeat the questions for folks, the riddles in a moment
Can we,
here.
like, type them?
We'll
in
type,
the
yeah,
chat?
we could type them in chat or something. Also, if you haven't tweeted out, 25 retweets, you guys get to decide what happens. Let's get these tweets going, and we'll see what happens here. Also, the giveaway for the D&D 5th edition starter set. There you go. Enter into it there. Should we say these riddles again, or just put them into chat maybe?
Yeah, Flaming Killer says they didn't hear him. Let's hear it again.
I'll go ahead and repeat them. The first one is ripped from its mother's arms, tormented by fire, hammered without mercy, it becomes a bloodthirsty slayer.
Sounds like must be a sword, which I got from chat. What do you guys think?
I feel, yeah, that one.
Probably the crescent shape.
It is
Boom.
not.
Okay.
Sword. Do we have a consensus on this, sister? Is it a sword?
I'm feeling the sword.
I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it.
Sword.
Rod.
Final
What about
answer.
a rod?
It is
We're
a
looking for
it is a
rod. It
sword.
wouldn't be-
What about a sword?
Yes.
Congratulations, you've gotten one of the questions right.
See,
Eh,
it's a rod
it was
in the shape of a moon.
Okay, moving on.
Kaylin Silverfur, props for becoming part of our game. As I would have never known that, even though it's obvious now after I know it.
Way to go, Caitlin. All right, riddle number 2. Twins who, when close together, can never touch each other, but who, when at a distance, can unite as one.
Testicles.
at least it just
Twins that went together can never really touch. Have you ever tried?
Oh, man, dude. It's so correct. It's
so wrong, but so right.
Stop! Stop!
Let's think here. What is the twin to the moon? The sun.
Yeah, Magnus was my first thought, but I don't know. I'm not sure if my character would actually
Ruff
be...
has made a strong argument.
All right.
A generous bestowal.
Thanks so much to Psychoport. Donates £6. Persuade him it's the moon. Double nat 20s. I know it's too late, but oh well. Oh wow.
Riddle
That's
number 3. Without it, we soon die. But it is no firm foundation. We can never really see it. Beware if it comes in force.
There's a third one.
There's 3 riddles.
There's 3
Okay,
riddles.
repeat the third one for us so we can write it down.
The third one is, without it, we soon die. But it is no firm foundation. We can never really see it. Beware if it comes in force.
Oxygen.
Death.
Water.
Death.
Stop it.
Let's work on them one at a time. The previous one, ripped from his mother's arms, tormented by fire, hammered without mercy, it becomes a bloodthirsty slave. No, we did that one.
Yeah, you got that one.
Shit. The one which was definitely
You don't get
testicles.
credit for answering the same one twice. You don't get credit for that.
What about the sun and the moon?
No.
What about testicles?
It's not testicles or the moon.
What happens if we get these wrong, I wonder?
I didn't ask you to get them right. I just asked you to answer them. Of course, there would be consequences to a wrong answer.
Right. Of course. Well, sun and moon. It's not sun and moon. I like that.
Yin and yang.
All right. And for the third riddle?
Was that right?
Oh, no, it wasn't right, but I figured.
Oh.
Is it not air?
Air.
I was thinking it might be air.
For the third riddle, it is air.
Oh,
Yes.
damn.
He says, thank you for participating in my game. You may cross the bridge.
Dude, thank you, like, so much.
What was the second one?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Well, can we keep playing till we get it?
You can try. I'll let you try once more.
Magnets.
And he looks at you other two like, are you going to let him answer for you?
No.
No.
Pokemon Go.
Anybody bring up Pokemon Go just to let you know I'll have to kill off your character immediately. No monster or anything. The gods from above.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch some of them.
Sure, it's not like a Pikachu.
So it was like twins that went together can never touch.
And a lightning storm comes down and kills everybody.
Right.
So,
I'm gonna need.
Hit me the riddle one more time.
Brimley, twins who, when close together, can never touch each other, but who, when at a distance, can unite as one.
I'm gonna go out and